We're speaking with Antonio Swad, the man labeled by industry colleagues as a marketing genius because of his work with Pizza Patrón. He's one of the Food Channel pros, leaders with guts. Antonio, in 2007, you made the decision to accept pesos at your restaurants across the country, and you received death threats as a result of that. How did that program evolve?
That was what a crazy story and a great time for our brand. We really grew up a lot. We grew up here in the office. I learned a ton about how the world works with respect to the news media, but that was an idea that was born out of purely wanting to do a better job of serving our core customer than our competitors. Many of our customers travel back and forth to Mexico, particularly around the holidays. Their work slows down. If they're in construction industry, for example, they go back home, and like all of us, if you've ever traveled outside of the country, you always come back with just a few dollars left, or whatever that country's currency is. You usually put it in a sock drawer, and it's forgotten about until you go back to that country. With our friends going back and forth to Mexico, we thought, what a great way for them to maybe use those last $5 or $10 or $20 worth of Mexican pesos in our stores. So we really thought that's it. That's as far as it goes. It was a better way to serve the customer. We devised a very simple way with some conversion charts for the cashiers to read what the denomination of the peso was, ring that into the cash register as the amount tendered in U.S. currency, and make the change in U.S. dollars. It was very simple, very easy to do. What I didn't anticipate, and none of us really anticipated, that it would cause such a stir and be tied so closely to the debate on immigration. And we somehow became, all of a sudden, the lightning rod for that. Maybe we were making a statement. People would call and ask us if we were running an underground economy. You know, there was this underground peso economy. It got crazy. We had really just peeled back the curtain on the psyche of many Americans. You got to see exactly what they were thinking. We were flooded with thousands of emails. Not all of them favorable. In fact, at the very beginning, far less than favorable. But we made a decision when this story started to break that we were going to answer every possible request that we could for an interview and tell our side of the story. And our side of the story was, it was a business decision designed to serve our customer better. We made that decision. The interview request came in, and for the next month and a half, it seemed like that consumed us here at the office, telling our side of the story. It was really, really a thrill.
As you move into new markets in the United States, what marketing plans do you roll out, and does it change from section to section of the country?
Well, our marketing plan in general is done at the very local or the community level. You know, we say service to community. That's a very important part of being part of Pizza Patrón. If you're a franchisee, that's one of the first things we talk about, is you understand that being successful in this business means you're going to be part of the community. That might mean setting up a table and serving the volunteers at a little fair in a church parking lot in the middle of the day on a Saturday. Are you willing to do that? Because that's really one of the main points of difference between our brand and some of our competitors' brand. We're willing to get down at the street level, the community level, and do that. So it doesn't matter really what part of the country we're in. The tactics are still the same. They're very localized, and they're confined generally to a trade area around that store. So that stays the same.
And you partnered with Pepsi to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. How has that partnership worked out?
It's worked out great for us. You know, I have to say, you know, Pepsi was, they was and continue to be great partners to work with. You know, what we find is the people that we work with directly, they're really passionate about serving the Hispanic community the same way that we are. We match up very nicely. They're creative. They help us execute the promotions, and it's part of who we are. So to have a vendor partner that is working with you on that really helps. We have a great promotion right now for the World Cup. The World Cup is huge in the Latino community, and along with Pepsi, we produce some great posters that allow people to keep track of their favorite teams and their favorite countries. And those are going to be enormously popular, and those are being distributed at every one of our stores free to our customers.
And what is your philosophy, the approach you take to marketing in your company?
Well, we have a focus, and I think all great brands have a focus. Everybody wants to say, if you ask people who's your customer, the truth is, I think very few of us really know who our customer is, but at least in our case, we know who we want our customer to be, and that's our brand focus. And that's the first thing I think we do, is we identify ideally who we want to bring in our front door. That's not to say that we don't want everybody that is hungry for a pizza, but great brands have focus, and we try to maintain our focus. Now, the trick with Pizza Patron that we try to do is our brand message is Latin life, enjoy. And everybody, regardless of your ethnicity, can find some way to get comfortable with enjoying a little piece of Latin life. That's why our stores are a little different. We try to make them festive. We try to make the mundane task of going in and picking up a pizza fun, vibrant, colorful, a great Latin experience.
You've launched a lot of branded sites on popular social networks. How is that working out?
You know, the social networking question is one that I'm still struggling with. I tell you, we've devoted a fair amount of resources to that. I don't think there's anybody that could really look at you in the eye and give you a definitive answer that they can measure how well that's working out. It almost, though, in today's day and age, it's if you're not participating with your brand on Facebook or any of the other social networking sites, it's sort of analogous to not even having a website. Would you want to go to a business that really didn't have a website? Of course not. It's an opportunity for us to get our brand out there. It's very difficult to measure the effectiveness, but in a way, that's part of business. There's nothing sure. Not everything that is quantitative, and this is certainly one of those things. I think it's in its infancy. I think we're all learning on ways to sort of tweak and utilize the social networking. We're certainly learning, but I know this, at least we're in there swinging, so eventually we might get a hit on that one.
And Pizza Patron is the exclusive pizza vendor for the American Airlines Center here in Dallas. Mm-hmm. Do you think your Hispanic Focus helped you land that account?
No, I don't. I think that was a decision that was driven a little bit differently. First of all, it was a great opportunity. The American Airlines Center is the second highest volume indoor arena in the United States, only behind Madison Square Garden in New York. It's a first-class facility. It's a beautiful building. And to have our brand inside that building in any shape or form is amazing. But to have our brand there selling our product in 6 outlets in a building like that and doing a better job of it than anyone that's come before us is really, really an accomplishment. I'll tell you what it does do. The people that are our customers in our stores, when they go in to attend a NBA game or a hockey game and they see Pizza Patron represented, I think it supports their decision to be a customer in one of our stores. And if you're of Hispanic heritage and you perceive the Patron as your brand, and I hope you do, if you are Hispanic and you go in and you see your brand represented in a beautiful facility like that, you just stand up a little straighter and you feel pretty good about it.
Plus all the new people that are exposed to it.
That helps. One of the best questions we get is, do you have any stores? That's a crazy question. We actually have 29 stores in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and we're still meeting people every day that's never heard of Pizza Patron. There's only opportunity in that.
In 2009, you appointed Guillermo Estrada as your president. Was that part of your marketing strategy?
Well, I think that the fact that Guillermo Estrada is born in Mexico, is a bonus. I don't think Guillermo got the job as president because he's Hispanic, but to me it was the icing on the cake. The cake of the man is the fact that he's a solid, intelligent individual that has got all the right things ready to lead this company to the next level. The fact that he's culturally relevant, raised in Mexico, and can identify with both our franchisees and our core customer is a bonus. It couldn't have picked a better man for the job.
So how are you doing post-presidency?
Well, I'm doing well, and we had an interesting way that we sort of passed the baton, if you will. Guillermo and I learned an awful lot about each other during the last 18 months because I moved my desk into his office. And you'd be amazed how much you learn about somebody when you sit with them all day, every day. We listened to each other's phone conversations. When people would come in and explain a situation that's relevant to our business, they only had to explain it once. We both heard it. We had time to talk about it. It's really funny. When I moved my desk in with Guillermo, I walked in there thinking, wait till this young man, wait till he learns all the things that I'm going to teach him. But as it turned out, the opposite was sort of true. I learned a lot about business and about culture, and I was greatly enriched in that experience. It was a great way to, and an efficient way, to pass the torch and some of the responsibilities that comes with the presidency of the company.
We're talking with Antonio Swad of Pizza Patron. Check out the next part of this series as we explore what it takes to be a leader with guts. For Food Channel Pro, I'm Ellen Codiff.